Hey, what's going on guys? Fitz here and welcome to another Torchlight 3 video. Today I'll share my build for the Dusk Mage class using the Coldheart Relic. I like to call this build the Ice Cold Harmony Dusk Mage. I played this build entirely on the highest difficulty called Ridiculous, so this will work on any difficulty that you prefer. If you're interested in the Railmaster and Forge class, then you can check out my other build videos. The links will be in the video description. Also, click the subscribe button now so you'll get notified when I upload new videos. And without further ado, let's get into it. The Ice Cold Harmony Dusk Mage will chill, slow down, freeze, and destroy enemies. This is a ranged build that focuses on building up the Harmonic form, then dealing out massive damage using our three main skills: the Snowstorm, Cold Front, and Entropy. This build has high mobility and high damage using both the light and dark skills. The way this works is we need to use both our light and dark skills to charge their respective energy bars. These bars border your mana resource icon. Once both the light and dark bars are full, you'll enter Harmonic form, gaining massive damage bonus and mana regeneration. You don't have to keep looking at your mana resource icon or the energy bars. Your character will shout, and you look like a ghostly visage of yourself once you are in Harmonic form. I spent a lot of respectacles trying different combinations, and I think I've come up with a very good skill combination. This build will feel squishy at first, but once you get used to the playstyle and start getting tier bonuses from your skills, and as well as getting good equipment, then this build will be really fun to play. Here's how I will discuss this build. Timestamps will be in the video description if you want to jump to a specific subject. You will have 70 skill points once you reach the maximum level. These are all the skills that I have learned. Keep in mind that I am using 3 pieces of the Celestial Legendary set. The mask gives +2 skill level to the entire dark skill tree, while the Cuirass gives +2 skill level to the entire light skill tree. You can equip the set items or slot them in your Legendarium. You can pause the video if you need more time to look at the skill points distribution. This is how I selected my skills when I started this build. You'll start with level 1 Holy Bolt as your default skill. At level 2, learn Dark Spears. It will be your secondary damage source and it will also charge your dark bar. At level 5, learn the movement skill Shadow Step and Consecration to increase your damage. Save your remaining points, and at level 10, learn Light Spear and upgrade it to tier 1. At level 15, learn and upgrade Snowstorm. You will activate this skill a lot to further boost your damage. Once you reach level 20, you can refund all skill points from Holy Bolt and put it to Entropy. Also get Cold Front and Absolver. At levels 21 and above, focus on upgrading Light Spear and Energy Spike to tier 2 so your Harmonic form will last twice as long. Then max your damage dealing skills Entropy, Absolver, and Snowstorm. You can upgrade the following skills last: Unholy Bolt, Shadow Step, and Energizer. And this is how I set up my hotkeys or skill bar when I'm playing my Ice Cold Harmony Dusk Mage. I prefer to have the keys that I use often closer to each other. If you want to change the shortcut keys, just go to the options menu, then key bindings. Now let's take a look at the skills that I have selected. The first skill is called Consecration. Once you activate it, you'll create a stationary blessed circle. While you are in the circle, you gain 38% bonus damage, that is at skill level 3. You can gain more bonus damage if you level up this skill further. but for our build, we will only take the tier 1 bonus. Also, if you're playing with other players, you will gain plus 15% damage bonus per ally in the circle. The tier 1 bonus, in my opinion, is a difference maker in terms of surviving and dying. The circle will be bigger, giving you more room to move around, while also pushing back enemies. You'll avoid dying a lot once you start using this skill with the tier 1 bonus. The next skill is called Light Spear. You fire a spear that deals a massive 1088% weapon damage at skill level 6 and pierces targets. While you are in harmonic form, you will heal 20% total health per enemy hit if you have the tier 1 bonus. We want to get the tier 2 bonus to extend our harmonic form duration by 50%. This is not our main damage dealing skill. You fire the spear to damage enemies and also heal yourself while in harmonic form. This will also help charge our light bar. The next skill is Absolver. At skill level 10, you fire 5 piercing missiles that each deal 377% weapon damage. Additionally, while in harmonic form, you charge enemies for 2 seconds, making them explode every second for an additional 377% weapon damage per burst. You want both the tier 1 and 2 bonuses. The first bonus is the missiles now travel faster and cost less mana, so you can cast the skill more often. The second bonus is you deal plus 10% more damage to blinded, slowed, or stunned enemies. The tier 3 bonus is nice to have, so you can hit more enemies with this skill. The next skill is Ice Shield. You transform your skin into ice for 5 seconds, preventing the next 3 sources of damage. It also fires icicles at nearby enemies for 250% weapon damage. We want the tier 1 bonus to extend the Ice Shield's duration by 50%. The next 2 skills are Frost Skin and Breaking Point. Frost Skin is a passive skill that gives you a second skin of armored ice, preventing all damage from a single hit. It recharges automatically every 70 seconds at skill level 1. Breaking Point is also a passive skill that unleashes a Frost Nova, dealing 100% weapon damage and freezing enemies for 1 second when your Frost Skin breaks. In my opinion, if you get Frost Skin, you also need to have Breaking Point, and in my experience, level 1 is enough. I played this build with level 5 Frost Skin and level 5 Breaking Point, and I didn't feel that my character was less squishy. It felt worse because I needed the other 8 points to power up other skills. The next skill is Snowstorm. You want to activate this skill at all times. You summon a snowstorm around you that drains your relic energy and lasting until it is depleted. The snowstorm deals 145% weapon damage per second as ice and chills nearby enemies. You also deal 25% more damage and gain 5% chance to freeze enemies for 2 seconds. This skill should be fully upgraded. You want a bigger aura for the snowstorm, we also want it to last longer, and we want to critically hit frozen enemies. So, all the tier bonuses will amplify our damage. The next big skill is Cold Front. After you have spent 200 relic energy, then you can cast Cold Front. You create a localized winter storm all around you for 10 seconds. The storm drops icicles that deal 412% weapon damage as ice per hit at skill level 6. You want at least the tier 2 bonus that will freeze all enemies for 3 seconds upon activating the skill. Also, this skill will deal massive damage even at level 6. I played this build with Cold Front maxed out and I did not feel it was effective. The last skill that we need from the Coldheart skill tree is called Energizer. It will increase our relic energy charge rate by 25%. Since we want to use Snowstorm at all times, then maxing out this skill is a must. Moving on to the Dark Skills tree. The first skill is called Unholy Bolts. We are not using the skill since we don't have any more keys for an active skill. We just want to learn this skill up to tier 2 to get the plus 20% dark skill damage bonus to buff up dark spears and one of our main damage dealing skills called entropy. The next skill is dark spears. It deals a good amount of damage and it will regenerate our relic energy really fast. The tier 1 bonus is plus 50% duration for dark spears. You want to get the tier 2 bonus as well, which is 10% cooldown reduction for all Dusk Mage skills. To use the skill, hover your mouse where you want to cast it, like over enemies or the area where you expect the enemy to pop out, then cast the skill. You can have multiple dark spears active at once. The next skill is called Shadow Step. This is one of the best movement skills in this game. The tier 1 bonus and tier 2 bonuses are required for this build to help us regenerate mana fast. The tier 3 bonus is optional, but I prefer to have another charge for greater mobility. If you don't want the tier 3 bonus, you can put the skill points to Cold Front. The next skill is Energy Spike, another skill that we don't use. We only want the tier 2 bonus, which extends the harmonic form duration by 50%. If you want to use this, then you can swap it with dark spears. You will just charge your dark bars lower, but you will deal more damage. The last skill that we want from the dark skills tree is one of our main damage dealing skill. It's called Entropy. This skill should be maxed out. At max level, Entropy will last 50% longer and moves 50% slower. So basically you're dealing more damage. The tier 2 bonus gives plus 10% critical hit chance for all dark skills, and the tier 3 bonus will trigger dark explosions for the skill's current weapon damage, but it will cost 30% more mana. We will look at the item shortly, but this skill should be paired with the Molten Reach one-hand legendary weapon. Entropy will gain twice as many projectiles and has an 8-second cooldown. And those are the skills that I recommend for this build. Now let's check the Legendarium and my current items. Currently, these are the items in my Legendarium. The first one is the Celestial Pants, so basically it will give us another 50% damage buff and also 50% increased mana regeneration while we are in harmonic form. The second one is called King Snaggletooth. It's actually optional, but if you cast Consecration, it will poison nearby enemies, dealing 125% weapon damage per second. And if you recall, our Consecration skill will last about 8 seconds, so it's an additional source of damage. The third one is required, Celestial Mask. So this will give us plus 2 skill level to our entire dark skills tree. It's either you slot them in or wear them. If you have the level 60 version of these items, the Celestial Pants and Mask, then I suggest that you wear them. Now let's take a look at my current items. So these are the items that I used during the demonstration. This is my weapon, and this is actually required for this build. If you don't have this yet, you can use other items. So basically this will make our entropy more powerful, probably like twice as powerful, because it will have twice as many projectiles, although it will have an 8-second cooldown. But it's okay because entropy requires a lot of mana to cast, so basically you still have to wait for your mana to recharge or regenerate before you can cast it again. So the cooldown is okay. And this is my Power Conduit Legendary Shield. It's the offhand. It's optional, but if you can get a shield, it will increase your block chance and obviously your survivability. Also, it has another source of damage. Every time you cast Dark Spears, you will call down a Lightning Bolt, and it will stun enemies inside the arc for 1 second, and it will deal 80% weapon damage. And this is my helm. It's actually the best that I have right now. If you have the entire celestial legendary set, then I suggest you wear them. This is my shoulders and the cuirass. So if you don't have this, then you slot them in your Legendarium. So this chest will give us +2 skill level to our entire light skills tree. And gauntlets, it's actually very powerful. So if you don't have this or a level 60 version of this item, then slot this in your Legendarium. It will give us another 50% increased damage and 25% increase mana cost while in harmonic form. Now the boots, it's a celestial boot, so every time you cast a cooldown skill, you gain mana infused for 3 seconds, and it will restore 5% of your mana per second. Currently this is my pants, but if you have the celestial pants, then wear them. Right now I have it in my Legendarium. So let's say you don't have this weapon yet, then you can use a Bone Razor. Every time you cast your Cold Front, you summon 3 skeleton warriors for 20 seconds. This is also another alternative weapon, so every time you hit the enemy, you have a chance to drop stalactites, which deals 30% weapon damage in an area. So those are the items that I have right now. Now that you have seen the build, it's time to put it to test. I'm going to do a complete Fazeer's dungeon run. Just a quick reminder, if you enjoyed this video, you can click the like button. We do appreciate it, and maybe consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
That here.